Hey everybody, it's Demon again here in Hell. We're going to do a bogie repair on this track hoe, this Hitachi track hoe. See the idler wheel or bogie wheel here that keeps tension on the tracks? Well, not the tension on the tracks, but keeps the slack out and runs on the top. There's 4 bolts here, 1/2 inch grade 8s, and we keep having a problem with them snapping off. So he went and put the heavy duty cat bolts, so they're really like grade 12 bolts, and they just shear right off. So it looks like there's they're both just below, and it looks like the other 2 are out. But first we got to lift up the track, and for this one, as you see, there's not a lot of room. So, and usually always the quickest thing, cut the block off, pull them out. Sometimes you cut it off, weld the nut on, comes out nice and easy. But if it doesn't, then it's a mess, right? You're trying to put a nut and weld it in there and not weld it to the threads. In this condition, it's too risky, right? So, cut off the block, pull the bolts out, clean it up, weld it back on, and then they're good to go. For this repair, we're going to pull out some of my bigger guns. This. Anyone knows what this is? It's a cutting tip, but it's a gouging tip. What size the hole on that? It's a number 10. I'll tell you, this will take out a 1/2 inch fillet, just one pass. And yes, this is a torch. So instead of cutting, it'll just blow away the weld. So it's going to make short work, but this thing uses oxygen like you wouldn't believe. Lot. Big time. That's for like 70 pounds oxygen. It's like red hot. Yummy. Pretty. Just squaring it up. I'm gonna leave some permanent marks because I've done this a few times. This seems to be a regular pattern. So I gotta find out what's wrong, is they have too much track tension or what. But for this one here, I think this one is the 2nd time. I think I've done almost all of these on this cat, on this track hoe. I think that one I didn't do. No, I did that one too. So I'm gonna leave some permanent marks to know where it is, because I gotta cut it off and relocate it, right? So I'm just doing it easier way here. Okay. Square. these tackles. I don't like them. Dangerous. Leaving permanent marks. No one's gonna know but me, right? So you got your center part marks, even though you lose the line, at least you can find it. And when you're removing welds with a cutting tip, always use an oxidizing flame and hit it right on the weld. And then just feather. You can even turn down your oxygen lower and just feather that and you cut right through. That's what we're going to do. There you go. Voila. There's the broken studs. And why didn't I use a gouger? Because I don't have one on the truck. No one wants to pay for it. And it makes too much of a mess and starts machines on fire. That's my experience. So I prefer to do everything with fire. As much as I can. Sometimes I gotta use a gouger. Get in a tight spot like that, the one big risk of using a cutting torch, sure you don't have your hot sparks and your high current going everywhere, that's what I try to avoid with a gouger. But you know, if you're not careful or you're just in a tight space, you end up cutting a little too deep, and you know, you'll fuck up the block or whatever, but that's perfectly fine. Because the torch is actually a lot better than a gouger, because if you go too deep on a gouger or you're in a blind spot, you don't have that depth perception, and you push it in too deep, well, you're using a carbon arc rod. And if you push carbon rod in too deep, you deposit carbon in the weld. And you can't weld over that. That's like, nothing will stick to it. It is not weldable anymore. So then you need to grind it out. So that's why I prefer to be a torch. Even though I may fuck it up and it might look a little bit dirty, I mean, there's no carbon depositing into this weld. And that's what really fucks up the metal. I'll grind this all up, weld it up, clean it up, just like new again. Don't worry about it. Didn't take this block off yet. because there wouldn't be such heavy rust and shit in these holes if I've done this one before. I must have been on the other side. Because I go in and I'll clean, I'll re-tap all my holes, and these have never been re-tapped, so. Alright. I was doing a lot of overhead welding, so this got full with a bunch of crud and wouldn't close, so I had to pick it out. Fixing back up is when this broke, the chain wrapped alongside the edge and kind of took an corner off the edge. So I'm going to rebuild that and being careful not to fill up the threaded hole and weld because it's a lot harder to tap. But at least then it won't give it a chance to rock or move or leverage. Plus, you know, do a good job. The one thing I want to show all you people is I'm going to show you the good and the bad, and of course the ugly. The reason why I'm going to do that is because we're all human, we're normal, we have good days, we've got bad days, shit happens, but it's not what you do, it's how you do it, how you go and repair it, how you start and finish a job, and mostly how you finish. Don't beat yourself up, well I didn't do this perfect, I didn't do that perfect. You know, there's 100 different ways to do different things. And there's every fucking critic out there. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, you. Stop it. Because you criticize yourself. Just concentrate on the job. You know what you're doing. And follow each step. And make each and every movement as good as you can. And bring everything back to new condition as you're done. You know what it says about the job when you're done? The work. How long it lasts. I don't come back and repair my shit. It's done, it's done. And it's done right the first time. So remember that, it's the finish line that counts. Not everything in between. Not, oh, I took a wrong turn. Oh, my welder didn't work. Oh, I didn't have this. Oh, I didn't have that. Point is, you got the job done, and it's a success, and the guy's working, and you got paid. Get to the next one. You can do it. It's up there. Could add a little bit more, but do we need to? No. That's just so if it doesn't wear off and eliminate some of that rock, right? I'll grind the rest of the sides off, but that's good enough to put back on. Then we'll get into extracting the studs and then properly tapping these holes so it's new. Like this is a new block. And then before welding on this unit, we're going to make sure the battery's got a hard disconnect, just in case. So that means disconnecting the positive and the negative before you start welding. And keep the ground as close as possible. You see all those bearings? All of those bearings and hydraulic cylinders. Electricity moves through all of those. It will go from the point of your ground to your positive. So always keep it close because accidents happen. So now we're at the point of extracting the studs. Like I said, I don't think I've done this one before. So to check to see how tight these studs are in there, I'm going to take a center punch and a chisel, and I'm going to hit it and see if they spin. Because sometimes you can take them out like that. If not, we're going to stick a bolt in there and weld it on, and then go to the next step. So let's see how tight it is. I'm hoping that these will move. Sometimes they just popped right off and the threads didn't stretch and they'll spin out by hand. So if you don't have to weld them, don't bother. We'll have to weld them. I knew that anyways, but sometimes you get a freebie. I walked into site and I had 4 busted bolts like that. I had them out in like 5 minutes. It's just because I had a good day or the world gave me one. And then others, like you've seen in the last video, it seemed to take me hours to get a little screw out. So it can go one way or the other. So we're just use 1/2 inch. We're just gonna use 1/2 inch nuts. So we've got a 5/8, whatever the fuck. And for this one, if you want deeper penetration, you can get in there with 60-10, burn it through. The only problem with that, it's not a ductile rod. So as soon as you put strain and stress, it's got no give, but it just snaps off, wrinkly every time. Sometimes you need to do that in a really greasy, dirty situation. Do that for your first pass, dig it in, and then you'll take 70-18, crank it up, and burn into that. And that'll change the molecular structure and be able to handle that torque, right? But for these ones, we're gonna go straight 332, 70-18, and I'll show you in a second. Don't get any of the weld sticking to the threads on the inside, because you'll never pull the fucking screw out. You weld the threads the inside, fuck. You're gonna grind that out and start over again. Be very cautious. Go with a smaller head. Smaller studs. outside where the threads are, and I don't fuse them. How we build them up. And it's okay to leave that slag there because that'll protect it from sticking to the threads. Welders, the common saying, more heat, more rod, more money. That's funny. A lot of other welders say that's what hookers say too. Let that cool down. Probably what we might even have to do is heat this block up. Then for sure it'll pop right up. We'll see once it cools down if it budges. Luck. Hey, we didn't have to heat the block. It actually wasn't that bad. All that work for just that. See, this is a good sign. I'd really like to clean all these threads out though.
Yeah.
Makes it a lot easier when they break again to get them out. Because I spent hours getting a little screw out because someone didn't clean the threads and there was dirt in it, and it, you know, about a ½ inch in, it took out a couple threads, and that was that, and it got jammed in there.
You know what would work on top of that? If a guy had another plate on top of this, so if it breaks, at least it'll break.
That's not true. It may have a chance to stick up more, but these both broke below the surface. So it may help.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll break in that piece.
Yeah. And then that's not such an issue. The issue is, how do we stop it from breaking? Oh, these are grade 8 ones. These weren't the... I'll just keep working. We got lucky with both of them. We didn't have to drill out. Remember last time we had to do like 2 or 3? We had to drill them out. That were bad. I hate having to drill and chase the threads. Because if you weld the bolts, then it makes them really hard. You actually can't even drill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, success. Hey, look at that. Must have been dirt and shit.
Yeah, you forgot to clean the bottom.
You guys probably put a handful of gravel in there
Yeah.
while you were putting the parts in. That's fucked. See, that's some dirty threads, eh? Dirt and shit, or maybe there's a piece of... Oh! Huh. Yeah, that was... There's something on there. That's some good.
What are you waiting for, Mike?
Yeah, we'll need to tap. That'll be better. We might even flip this block over, because you got, see the top part in here? You've got a 1/2 inch of missing threads. So this one's only holding threads in the bottom.
Yeah.
The blocks are nice. We'll get the tap, we'll trap it right through, flip the block over, and then you got good solid threads. Yeah, so we'll clean out all this shit, and then you got good threads.
Nice blue block.
Yep. Pretty. I thought I had brought my oil with me.
You good for now, Doug?
Oh yeah, I'm good. It won't be long now. And what this is, the little bit of oil there is to lubricate and be a friction barrier, as well as a method to get the particulates out, right? I don't know why I'm even chasing this one. I'll start with this one. Now, still a 5/8 tap, but as soon as it gets tight, always go 1/2 turn back quarter. Just keep doing this all the way around. What you're doing is you'll cut the thread or clean it, and then when you cut, then you'll break the cuttings off so they don't spiral, like roll ahead like a carpet and jam. And if it jams and you go too tight, then you break the tap off. And then it's bad. I mean, you can be a little faster and stick it in your drill, like a cordless drill, and it's got multiple settings, and then you can set your setting low and have it like a clutch, right? So you go back and forth, but I don't have that. I just do it by hand. Still lots of shit on it. So any bit of that gets in the threads, also fucks it up, right? All that rust crap. Better if I had an air hose. Well, I'm down to the last one. I've had to flip it over and re-tap it, because one of the holes, the threads were just pulled right out of it. So we're gonna have to flip the block and put it on that way. Get a few more years out of it. Hard going. Really dirty, dirty threads. Really dirty. But if you don't clean them out, you're not going to get the studs out next time. You're going to break up. You don't get the torque you want out of it. And then if you do, fuck the threads up. And we're back here again. You pull a bolt out, run a tap through it, blow out all the crap, then put it back together. And shit will last much longer. Yay! We're to the hard part now. Yeah. There we go. And we have success. See, shiny, much better. Cleaned all that rust out. Now I'm gonna go in the shop and use the air hose and blow that out. And we're gonna weld the block on. And we're done. Go home to the next one. Alright, well, we've got block off. We repaired the block. We repaired any nicks. The frame, subframe. Now we're getting ready to install it. Now, previous thing, you can't really see it, but this hole, the threads are gone for about 3/4 of an inch. So there's not much we can do about that, except for flip it over. Look, the threads are nice now, lots of meat. So that's what we're gonna do. We've cleaned all the threads, we've blown them out, and we flipped the block over. Now with the center punch marks that I made where it was, I'm gonna rerun my chalk lines, set the block down, and run a 3/8 fillet, about 4 inches either side. And that's it, done. 3 passes, 532 each side. We're out of here. Off to the... See, you line up the two line up the 2 dots there. Right. Okay. Not that it really matters, it can go left and right a little more. I mean, it's just an idler wheel. Right. But we might as well put it in the same place that it was. And the most important marks are the ones this way, is our distance. Center block right there, and it was exactly the way it come off. Make sure we got the right side. Yeah. And make sure these go in there nicely. 5/8 NC grade 8s. Should be able to thread in there by hand. Ooh, look at that. See? That's how your thread should be when you put them back in. Nice. Spin them in. So you can get down to the bottom and then you can torque them up. If they're binding beforehand, that means they're rolling dirt or crap in between the threads and it'll pile up. And sometimes you can even break the stud off before you get it to torque. So dirt and shit is always a problem. And this side, the narrowest side, is on the end. There. It's not a piano, but we're ready to tack it on. Pretty nice. We're in the plus temperatures, or around, you know, plus 5 degrees Celsius or so. Given the mass of the metal here and here, if this was below minus 16 degrees, definitely put a preheat in all of this. If you don't, this massive metal when you weld will pull all the heat out of the weld and you'll get an undermade crack. Don't want that. So, right now with the temperature, it's fine, and I've got multi-pass. So I've got 3 passes. The first pass will warm it up, and the other 2 will be fine. So no need for preheat. I'm going to be using 532/70/18 at about 160 amps. That's what I like. Like this. Answer the question. I just did 1 pass on the back side, tacked in the front, tacked in the back, did 1 4-inch fillet, 1 4-inch pass on the back side. Now I'm going to do the 3 in the front, and the reason for that is if I did all 3 on the other side, well, I'd break the tacks and the block would lift. So you tack, back's welded, now you can weld all of this out, and then return to the back to finish. That's so it doesn't pop. structural code or structural welding, the size of weld is determined by the thinner plate of both structures. So if I really wanted to be particular, I should be putting a 1/2 inch fillet. Look at the size of plate, right? So your fillet should be this thick. But the 3/8 are going to be perfectly fine. You don't need to be more than a 1/2 inch. It's not going to do you more. Don't waste your rod. Use all your rod. Well, I could, but it's not going to be quite enough to finish the next pass. And two, when you reuse rods, you tend to get more chance of porosity in the beginning. So what I'm doing, people, one rod, one pass. Just like pressure pipe. When I'm welding any pressure vessels, boilers, anything like that, I never restart a rod. Even if I go blow, well, throw it out, get another one. It's not worth it when you gotta spend hours on the repair. Here's the channel. So I lied, I put in a 1/2 inch fillet. That side's done. I'll repeat the 2 other passes on the other side. I'm going to take try welding in there without zapping everything else. Because if you touch the rail, oh, now you've arced in between the rail and everything between here. So it's not the stray arc that's the problem. It's you're putting all that amperage through everything else. It's the burn marks it makes that you don't see. I have a tendency when I weld stuff, I'll put basically a plug in the hole because I just tapped everything, so I don't want splatter and dirt and crap in there. So, and yeah, most welders will weld and leave, but I'll usually end up putting stuff back together for them. See what happens after the rail dropped on it and wore that off. And then someone welded this to the block. Yeah. They did that actually. This is the one I repaired because when he bought it in the auction, the bolts had broken off and then someone just welded this on there, and the first mile he drove it popped off. He was like, "These bastards." Now the dangerous part. Yeah. You know, it's done well when I can pretty much hand thread the bolts right down to the bottom. That's what you want. You don't want to start wrenching on them halfway through because then you got shit in it. Hmm? And always be in a position that you don't go, because that happens if anyone spun wrenches. Or that'll happen.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
And for those who aren't mechanics or haven't seen this, this is the double wrench. Be very careful. This will also bite you in the face. If I knew how to do it. See? See that in there? Now remember, this people have never done it. So see, lens goes in like that, and then you gotta pull. But you really gotta watch. You gotta hold this fucker and this fucker, because when you do this, one slips, and you get really injured. It's kind of a no-no. Yeah, see? Yeah. But you watch it doesn't go like this and in the face. I'll tell you, that really hurts. Could have been, they could have broke because they didn't have them on tight enough. going back to the moments I hate most in life.
The moment of truth?
Operating a jackal. And do that gingerly. No, it's not. Yeah. Another bogey down. See you next time. Now for the most important part of this job. Money. Get the money. No, gotta get a check. We'll be good.